That person is one of Matsura's informants. Let's follow him. Be careful not to get seen.
Did you see that? Sir Kujo Kamaji just came past here with a huge group of people.
Could it be related to the wedding announcement?
Maybe, but from the look on his face, it seems like something much more serious. He and his men seem pretty intense at the moment. Isn't it all a bit excessive for a wedding?
The Tenryo Commission has sent a load of people to Rito. I guess it must have something to do with the wedding. I think in all there must have been about 100 people so far.
That doesn't sound good. What could be going on? I hope it's just Sir Kujo Kamaji being overcautious.
The news is spreading fast, but it appears Master's fears may be well placed. There's no way they sent this many people just to escort the bride. I have to investigate.
He ran off!
As expected. Let's follow him.
Wow! It's like the whole Tenryo Commission is here.
Excuse me, has something happened on this road? I'm a businessman passing through, and it's a little disconcerting to see this place so heavily guarded.
Please don't be alarmed. As I'm sure you've heard, the wedding of Sir Kujo Kamaji and Lady Hiragi Chisato will take place any day now. Sir Kujo decided to send for Lady Hiragi ahead of time and have her live in Inazuma City during the run-up to the wedding.
I see.
We are here to clear the way for Lady Hiragi. Not just us either. You'll see more Tenryo Commission members as you go further along. We're all here for the same duty.
Isn't this a little excessive?
Sir Kujo holds Lady Hiragi in the highest regard and wants to treat her with the utmost respect from beginning to end.
I understand. Sorry to disturb your work. Drat. It's exactly as Master feared. They say they're here to guard the road, but really they're poised to attack if Master doesn't allow Lady Hiragi to leave Rito. Wait, no. If Lady Hiragi does leave, they'll have all the more reason to strike. But we're in no state to defend against a Tenryo Commission attack. I must tell Master right away.
He ran off again!
That should do it. The seeds have been sown. In this atmosphere, mounting suspicion will nurture fear among the Kangjo Commission. Now, we wait patiently for it to grow and ferment. The calm before the storm is always the part that unsettles people the most.
Are they really gonna own up and apologize, just like that?
If you're curious to find out, you can visit the Hiragi clan in Rito in a couple of days. I have some other business to attend to, so I won't be spending any more time on this situation. In any case, we've made our move. It's only a matter of time before they give up and surrender. This is not my first time. Well then, goodbye for now. I truly hope that things will work out in Hiragi Chisato's best interests.
He left kind of abruptly. Are things really gonna turn out like he predicted? Paimon too. Well, let's go to Rito again in 2 days.
These people from the Tenryo Commission have been here for days now.
I guess they're here to pick up Lady Hiragi. But why would it be taking so long?
I heard that the Kanjo Commission suddenly said they don't want Lady Hiragi to leave. To be honest, I'd be hesitant if I were her. A crowd this size comes to Rito? Who knows what they could be planning?
Shh, stay quiet. Someone might hear you.
Oh, right. Sorry. How did things get to this point?
Hello. How may I help? We arrived here 2 days ago to escort Lady Hiragi to Inazuma City. Sir Kujo Kamaji gave us very strict orders, so we have to obey. But every time we attempt to receive the bride, the Hiragi clan always finds an excuse to delay things. Since we haven't fulfilled our duties yet, we decided to stay in Rito until Lady Hiragi is ready to come with us. We apologize. It was not our intention to stay here so long. We promise our presence here will not impact ordinary people's lives. We can only hope that the leaders of the Hiragi clan will start to cooperate soon. If this stalemate continues, who knows? Sir Kujo might give us orders to be less accommodating.
How much longer does your master plan to hold them off?
I have no idea. We're stuck in limbo here. Master's been very on edge these past few days. He gets irate over the smallest things and is suspicious of everything. He's been yelling at me a lot. I understand that he's anxious, but I mean, what can we do? I've told him before, never cross the Yashiro Commissioner.
Yeah, good advice. With him, you just know that whatever he's doing, a lot of preparation has gone into it. If Lady Hiragi is really taken away, then what will the Tenryo Commission do? And what will the Yashiro Commission do?
Maybe we should tell Master to discuss things with Lady Hiragi.
Hiragi Chisato is now at the center of every conversation in Rito. By now, the Kanjo Commission probably knows how important she is. But what about what she thinks? Oh.
Oh, Traveler! I assume you've heard about everything that's been going on out there. What on earth is happening?
Don't worry, we can explain everything. So, what happened was...
After the Tenryo Commission arrived, they suddenly became alarmed. They keep having secretive discussions and won't allow me to have any direct contact with the Tenryo Commission. I never would have thought that this was Sir Kamisato's plan. Now it all makes sense. I'm sorry. I haven't. Maybe there's no right or wrong decision. Maybe everything would be easier if I simply didn't have the choice. I used to tell myself things like this to avoid having to think about it. But once I saw the notices appearing out of nowhere on the streets, signaling that the wedding was confirmed, I didn't feel reassured at all. Instead, I felt a great sense of regret. I keep thinking back to what Sir Kamisato said. This is supposed to be my bright and beautiful future. But what if it's not? I can happily accept that if someone was trying to take advantage of my marriage, I should absolutely refuse to go through with it. But that's not the answer I'm looking for. And also, now that things have escalated to this point, it will be tricky to resolve.
Ah, Lady Hiragi, here you are. You scared me for a second. I thought you'd gone missing. You? Wait, you're the ones who were with the Yashiro Commissioner that day. What do you think you're doing here? Are you trying to convince Lady Hiragi to leave?
Calm down. They're my friends. They're just here to visit me.
Friends? Are you sure? Just friends? Lady Hiragi, I told you already, these are exceptional circumstances. You need to be more vigilant in everything you do. You are extremely important to us and to the entire Kanjo Commission. Who's to say they don't have a hidden agenda?
If you want to accuse us of trying to abduct her, just come out and say it!
Don't be rude. You've been very highly strung lately, seeing everything as a threat. Listen to me. I know all the ins and outs of everything that's happened so far. His arrival might well be your very last chance to fix this. The present state of affairs in Rito shows me that the situation has escalated well past the point where you could hope to control it. If this deadlock continues any longer, we will have nothing to gain and much to lose. This is not an order. All I need you to do is give me an explanation and take responsibility for the situation.
Understood, my lady. I shall discuss with the others right away.
Good job, Chisato. You handled that well.
I was so nervous. But I thought things are now so critical that I should at least give it a try. And it worked remarkably well. Yes, well, let's wait and see what happens. I hope they provide a satisfactory response.
We had a serious discussion and reflected on our mistakes. In all honesty, no one can handle the weight of the situation here. Everyone is besides themselves with worry. It'll drive us mad if it continues. I'm so sorry. My actions were radical and duplicitous. I was selfish and ignored the greater good. And then I left the situation to fester. Would you please give us a second chance? For my lady's sake, please give the Kanjo Commission another chance. I suppose you're right. The only person who can change the Tenryou Commission's mind will be the Yashiro Commissioner. We'll head off to the Kamisato estate shortly and beseech him to help us with the utmost sincerity. Lady Hiragi, might I ask you to join us? You are the most important person. By the way, aren't you a good friend of the Yashiro Commissioner? Please put in some good words for me. Yashiro Commissioner, I'm sure you've heard the news. The Tenryou Commission has now occupied Rito, refusing to leave until we hand Lady Hiragi over to them. I realize I have greatly offended you with my atrocious actions, and I realize also that this must sound like the very height of absurdity. But please, have mercy, good sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matsura. I'm exceptionally busy and have but a moment to spare before my next engagement. I fear this leaves no time, so please, if you would be so kind, get straight to the point.
I know our apology means nothing to you, but we really have nothing else left to offer by this point. I'm terribly sorry. Everyone in the entire Kanjo Commission now realizes the gravity of this situation. Lady Hiragi is indispensable to us. We promise to always support her. So, would it be at all possible for you to talk to Sir Kujo once more?
You make it sound so easy. The Tri-Commission will be ridiculed by the public if we choose to withdraw the notices now and eat our words. What do you plan to do about this? To lose face for the Tri-Commission is to bring shame to Her Excellency. Are you and your associates ready to face the thunderous wrath of the almighty Shogun?
We'll take full responsibility. We'll publish a new notice and hold a conference to explain the situation. We will make sure that the public knows this was all a huge misunderstanding. We'll do everything we can to minimize the impact. Everything we can.
Master Matsura, you should have known it would come to this. Whatever were you thinking? But the Tri-Commission must always put the interests of Inazuma first, regardless of what Sir Kujo and I may feel at this present moment. If the situation in Rito is left to fester any further, things may get out of control. But Lady Hiragi and the inhabitants of Rito are innocent. If we fail to contain the situation promptly, the rumor mill will wreak havoc on the Tri-Commission's reputation. Try keeping a pet bird. You'll see what I mean. Songbirds who know how to hold a tune can be very pleasant to listen to, but they can also become irritating if they don't know when to stop. And as for the ones with excessively long tongues, well, they're so insufferable that they can't be kept as pets at all. But it doesn't take a moment to cut out their tongues and silence them for good.
Yes, I understand.
I've listened to your concerns, and I'll talk to Sir Kujo for you. But I can't guarantee that he will
I understand. Thank you for your help, Yashiro Commissioner.
All right, you ought to return now. I'm sure you have a sizable mess to deal with back in the Kanjo Commission.
Okay, then please excuse me. Thank you once again, Commissioner.
Ah, yes, Lady Hiragi. I have something to tell you. Would you mind?
Oh? Why, of course. Sir Kamisato, you became a completely different person just now. It felt so intense.
Unruly servants like him need to be severely reprimanded. As a commissioner, the Almighty Shogun trusts me to do her will. I did as I should. But now, I'd like to take off my commissioner hat and share a personal story with you.
Oh, please.
You must have heard that the Kamisato clan once went through an extremely difficult period. My father worked incredibly hard to compensate for the grave errors made by the Kamisato clan long ago and restore our reputation. The work took a toll on his health and ultimately led to his untimely demise. My mother loved him dearly. She passed soon after. This sudden turn of events dealt a heavy blow to the Yashiro Commission. Behind the scenes, things became very unstable. Everyone thought that the Kamisato clan had lost power. That made my sister and me nothing but burdens, hindering the ambitions of others. It may sound preposterous now, but I assure you that is the truth of what the Yashiro Commission has been through.
Huh. Pretty similar to how the Kanjo Commission is now.
Back then, I had no choice but to accept the position I was in. While I desperately looked around for powerful supporters, I endured smear campaigns and attempts to exploit me. I had no other choice. I had to honor my parents' dying wishes, and I also had a young sister to take. I didn't mind what became of me, but my family. No one can ever be allowed to trample over my precious family. Fortunately, I persisted, and the Kamisato clan was able to survive this storm.
I think I now know where my sense of loss and confusion was coming from. Shinojo once told me that he saw what was in me in a way that no one else did. That's why he couldn't bear to see me live the rest of my life depending on someone else. I thought the reason I felt unsettled was because of uncertainty over getting married. But the fact is, it's because I felt too young and inexperienced to handle the situation facing me.
The reason why Sir Kujo was able to face the prospect of marriage so confidently is because he's prepared for anything.
That's it. The situation I'm facing now is the same one he faced back then. When his clan was in crisis, he bravely drew his blade and challenged the Almighty Shogun. And now, it is time for me to make a stand and become my own person.
Well said. I'm sure once you have grown and gained confidence, your father will be able to let go and allow you to decide how you want to live the rest of your life. It might not sound exciting, but this kind of personal growth is a necessary step in the pursuit of true happiness.
And I'm sure I can get there. I will use this as an opportunity to take over the responsibilities of the Hiragi clan. I'll think about marriage again after everything is more settled. This puts less pressure on Kamaji, and means I can support and protect myself without having to worry about becoming a burden or dependent on someone else.
My best wishes to both of you were and remain heartfelt. When the time comes for the wedding to go ahead, I will come to congratulate you once more.
Thank you, Sir Kamisato. I am grateful for everything you have shared with me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot to deal with back home.
Take care, Lady Hiragi. I'm confident that on your return, you will find your Kanjo Commission associates most receptive to your instruction.
Yes, in fact, my recent experience suggests the same. Thank you once again.
She really has the air of a leader now. Hats off to you too, sir. Everyone thought there was no way out until you pulled that super smart strategy out of nowhere.
In fact, counter-checking is a perfectly common maneuver in the game of chess. Our rival this time was easy to deal with. He was smart, but short-sighted, and sloppy in his execution. This outcome is entirely within my expectation.
Even so, Paimon could never come up with a plan that cunning in a whole lifetime. Anyway, it's kind of a relief to see that Chisato has decided to set the Hiragi clan straight.
I agree. Stability in Inazuma benefits me as well. I wasn't about to pass up an opportunity to make less trouble for myself. Well, the fact is that I am first and foremost the Yashiro Commissioner. Perhaps for Master Matsura, power is his life's pursuit. But for me, nothing matters more than the stability of Inazuma. A stable nation is the prerequisite for a stable Yashiro Commission. Only then can the Kamisato clan and the other Yashiro Commission clans have a peaceful existence. But human desire will always be a factor in the equation. This is not the first situation. All I have tried to do is make sure the three parties to the Tri-Commission serve to restrain each other. Stasis is not the only form of stability. A balance of power leaving no room for maneuver achieves the same end. Another positive outcome is that everyone recognizes how important Lady Hiragi is now. I think I did her a sizable favor in that regard. Dealing with the Hiragi clan will be much easier for her than navigating a new and unfamiliar one.
There were so many things at play over this one wedding. Wait a second. You weren't trying to stop the wedding from the very beginning, were you?
I thought straight away it was bad timing. Nevertheless, everything I said to Hiragi Chisato was entirely sincere. If you choose to give up your stance on something once, you'll be having to compromise for the rest of your life. I didn't want to see her suffer because she didn't realize what she was getting into. Now, she has the chance to become her own person. Let's see who she...
Okay then, guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Farewell, and profuse thanks to you both. I shall...
Looks like everything's resolved. Masterfully done. Everything was perfect. Well, except for one minor detail. I somehow ended up with a glass of very peculiar tasting milk.
Didn't you like it? I distinctly remember you saying you are quite partial to exotic flavors.
Oh, my lord?
The Traveler had one of those as well.
I'm sure he's made a great impression on you.
The Traveler did indeed play a critical role in this case. I'm sure both families would have been more guarded against me had he and his companion not been present. It wouldn't have been so easy to get to the heart of the matter.
There you go again, my lord. Placing the focus on other people while discreetly performing your job to perfection.
Naturally. Ah, yes. Now that we're both free, Let's finish off that game of chess we started a few days ago.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Actually, I don't think there's much point continuing that game. I'm pretty sure I don't have a chance of winning.
Well, I've forgotten where we left off amidst the activity of the past few days. Don't you want to take this opportunity to try and best me for once?
If you say so. All right, I'll give it my best shot.
Hi, Catherine. We heard that you have a new commission for us.
That's correct. There's a requester who has submitted a designated commission for the two of you.
A designated commission? Sounds like it must be pretty important. What kind of task is it exactly?
There's no need to worry. This commission is not dangerous by any means. Perhaps you have heard that Inazuma will soon be holding a major festival, the magnificent Irodori Festival.
Yay! A festival! Oh, come to think of it, we haven't attended a festival in Inazuma for a while.
The Yashiro Commission and Lady Yae are responsible for all the festival preparations. The one who has requested your help is none other than Lady Yae herself.
You know Miko. She always has some unusual ideas in her head. You can bet a festival planned by her is gonna be one to remember. We'd better go to Grand Narukami Shrine and see what she needs us to do.
Lady Yae is currently at Yae Publishing House in Hanamizaka, so there is no need to go all the way to the shrine. In fact, she has instructed me to have you directly meet with her there.
Oh, well that's convenient enough. Let's go then.
Aratani and Kuroda, how are things coming along?
All the books and commission prints for Yae Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yae.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Apekusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
Well done. And what about you, Onodera? Onodera?
Oh, yes, Lady Yae. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence. Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I feel quite optimistic about it. I shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party.
Yes, Lady Yae. Thank you very much.
All right then. Is everyone clear about their assignments? Good. We are running out of time, so let's get moving. Chop chop. Ah, hello, little ones. I take it you have received my commission,
Some organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the Grand Narukami Shrine? You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk from you two. But as you can clearly see, I'm here working like a dog for the festival. Yet you say I'm not doing my job. Let me ask you, little ones. Whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all.
Yes, that is true. But now that the Sokoku decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail. Therefore, rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time, we'll be holding an international cultural festival, distinctly Inazuman, but with a unique twist. I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of the Iridori Festival. Legend has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted in singing and writing poetry. They are known as the 5 Kasen. Every year, one of the 5 would present. Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time. As time passed, people began creating various tales based on the 5 Kasen. The Iridori Festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
Indeed. To describe it in the words of the ancients, it'd be refined elegance. Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the 5 Kasen and the festival. Which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Iridori Festival by holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
But wait a minute! Light novels?
Please stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage, but nowadays the entertainment format of choice is light novels. The important thing is not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past. Speaking of which, don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma? And besides, it's a great opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to all Teyvat through light novels. As they say, it's 2 birds with 1 stone.
Whoa, that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persuasive tongue. Come on, Miko! You can't fool us. We know you by now. This is all definitely stemming from your own personal interest.
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here. Well, what do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interesting things you might see at the festival?
Maybe a little. Oh, all right. Paimon's super curious now.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival. There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your tasks. During the Iridori Festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs Agency will become the main exhibition space for light novels. Once things are in full swing, not only will there be lots of official and fan-created work on display, there'll also be exclusive giveaways, prizes, and new release parties. This small plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the 5 Kasen Plaza during the festival, and nearby shops will be selling special light novel merchandise. You certainly won't want to miss out.
Wow. How should Paimon put this? It's definitely not your typical festival, but it sure looks like it'll be quite the party. Miko, what are these blank boards in the center of the plaza?
Yes, those are...
Lady I did mention that there would be some reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. It appears she meant you two. At last we meet again, Traveler and Paimon. Tell me, how are you faring recently?
Oh, it's Ayato! Wow, so even a busy guy like yourself is here to attend the Iridori Festival.
Preparing festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of responsibilities. Seeing as Lady Yae has poured her heart and soul into the preparations, I'm obliged to be equally dedicated.
Come now, Ayato. We're not strangers here. There's no need to sound so formal. We were just about to discuss the boards over here. They're related to our little helper's tasks, so I'll let you give them a detailed rundown.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Iridori Festival originated from the 5 Kasen. These 5 boards are here for painting their portraits. This Iridori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Inazuma since the lifting of the Sakoku Decree, it is also an event deeply rooted in culture and the arts. Therefore, the Yashiro Commission has personally invited several cultural celebrities from other nations. For example, the artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt. The Yashiro Commission will arrange accommodations and food in Inazuma for each of the distinguished guests. However, we fear that staying in a foreign land may feel a little uncomfortable, which is precisely why it would be ideal to have someone familiar with both Inazuma and other nations of Teyvat to serve as a guide for our guests. I knew you would catch on. It is our hope that you would be able to guide the guests from the harbor to their residence at the International Trade Association, while providing any necessary assistance along the way. This arrival schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do is go to the docks at the indicated times.
It's settled then. My, look at the time. I have to meet with my editors, so I must be going now. During the festival, most of the Yae Publishing House's editors will be staying near the Outlander Affairs Agency. If you run into any problems, you may find them there.
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
All the details we need about the ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. Let's take a closer look and be sure to pick up the passengers according to the times written on it. According to the arrival schedule, there will be a ship arriving from Mondstadt today. The artist for the 5 Kasen portraits should be on board. The boat should be arriving soon, so let's head down to the docks. festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt. Word has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of late. We hope to find fresh inspiration here.
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, where's Tongaf Bard then? Huh. Strange. He's pretty famous in Mondstadt. Do you think he didn't receive an invitation? Huh? Why's that? Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Venti no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon. If he came rushing to Inazuma at the first mention of a festival, not only would it seem a little childish, it would also sort of be shameless of him too.
Mr. Honorary Knight, Paimon!
It's Klee! Were you also invited to the Iridori Festival?
No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation. But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged for someone here to issue me a dependent pass.
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making preparations for the Irodori Festival, I predicted that I might run into you here.
Ha! Paimon knew it! Albedo's the one they've invited to paint the 5 Kasen!
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma, Calx. Oh, by the way, do you know where the International Trade Association is? I'll be meeting with the editorial director of the Yae Publishing House there.
Yeah, the International Trade Association is where you'll be staying in Inazuma. We'll be heading there too.
Great. Let's get going then.
It's so beautiful here! So many things I've never seen before.
Slow down, Klee. Please be careful not to bump into others. Telling Klee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was probably not the best idea. As a result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited now that we've arrived. Strange. It seems that the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama, isn't here yet. I'm certain he said that he'd be sure to arrive before me. This might be a problem. Well, Mr. Hiroyama was supposed to meet with me and give me some reference materials about the 5 Kasen today. That way, I could better visualize the content for my paintings.
You mean you had no idea what you'd be painting before you arrived in Inazuma?
I only know of the 5 Kasen by name. Because of the sheer age of the tale, very little has been passed down to this day. So Mr. Hiroyama decided to help me collect some more information. I'm the type of painter who can complete a painting quickly as long as I'm inspired. So I agreed on only receiving the details today.
So when do the paintings have to be done by?
According to the festival plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the Irodori Festival. The first one, depicting Suiko, will need to be done before the festival's official opening ceremony, which is the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow? Then you're already running out of time!
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished at the last minute. Just last month, to ensure the latest book of A Legend of Sword would be finished for the Irodori Festival, I had to complete the final chapter's illustrations the same day I received the manuscript. I heard that my illustrations were sent to print as soon as they arrived in Inazuma, I still don't know how well they turned out.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions or compliment you on your artistic genius.
Of course, I would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance so that I can be better prepared.
Oh, right! The editors of the Yai Publishing House will all be around the Outlander Affairs Agency these next few days. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Hirayama's over there too. We'll take you over there to see if we can find him, Albedo.
All right, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please stay at our residence in the International Trade Association and get some rest. We will be back soon.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
This can't be happening. The moment we need to contact Onodera is when he's on special leave. Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run. The demand for this book is so high, though. Even with the emergency prints, it still might not be enough.
Despite everything, we're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few days later, then we'd really be in boiling water. Hey, do you think that suspicious guy they found in the warehouse has anything to do with this?
Well, the editorial director is on his way over there to investigate the situation as we speak.
Sorry to interrupt, but what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Traveler. Don't worry. It's nothing, just an internal issue. That's all. How can—
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hirayama. Does anyone know where he is now?
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata. Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was invited to paint the 5 Kasen for the festival?
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the 5 Kasen. I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr. Hirayama know to send you the materials right away.
Oh, no need. You guys look super busy, so we can go find him ourselves.
About that.
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of A Legend of Sword?
Huh? How did you know?
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up. To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hirayama directly. After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to A Legend of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
Well, I'm very sorry. The situation is just as you said, Calx. I suppose it doesn't hurt to tell. Earlier today, someone spotted a suspicious outlander sneaking around inside the Iridori Festival warehouse down by the docks. So they promptly alerted the Tenryou Commission. The Tenryou Commission was concerned about potential cargo theft, so they contacted everyone who was renting space in the warehouse. It was then that we realized that the latest copies of A Legend of Sword had suddenly gone missing.
What? The books are missing?
Shh, not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Iridori Festival, but the author, Chin-Yu, will be personally attending the release party as well.
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hirayama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine whether the theft was related to that suspicious outlander.
I see. It would be a great misfortune if A Legend of Sword would not be released on schedule. And quite a disappointment for Chin-Yu as well. If Mr. Hirayama has gone to the warehouse at the docks, then I'll go down to see if I can be of any help.
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jin-Yu. Sounds familiar. Hey, isn't that Xingqiu's pen name?
Oh, do you know him?
Xingqiu would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing. Let's accompany Albedo to the warehouse too. It's you! Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryo Commission, of course. Is that surprising?
No, Sarah, Paimon wasn't talking about you! So, Tone-Deaf Bard. The suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me.
As I have told you, you are a suspect. Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again. Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed bard from Mondstadt?
Listen, Sarah. Knowing him, it's safe to say that he wasn't behind the theft. But what's this about being a stowaway?
Although he claims to be a special guest for the Iridori Festival, he's failed to present his invitation letter. Therefore, we can only suspect that he might have entered the country illegally. And just a moment ago, we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze. If it would help shed any light on the situation, then please, be my guest.
Oh, Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
Ouch, your words wound me. We've been apart for so long, and the moment we meet again, all I'm greeted with is grilling questions and suspicious glares. You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard. You of all people should be more understanding, don't you think?
Similar means?
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission. It's unlikely that someone acquainted with the likes of him would ever be here illegally, right?
But why weren't you on the same ship as the other bards?
Well, once I received the invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting dandelion wine. So, naturally, I decided to set sail with them. Once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way. I must have fallen asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake. And when I woke up, I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryo Commission general glaring at me from atop the grate.
Coming from Venti, this story is quite believable. But it still feels a bit...
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the IA Publishing House, and there are some questions I would like to ask you. Based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the warehouse for some time now. If that's the case, did you happen to hear anything unusual?
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me a couple of times, but I didn't consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
Hmm? But if you clearly heard something, why didn't you feel it was unusual?
Oh, I seem to understand now.
Huh? What did you notice?
When it comes to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. What Venti means is that he did not hear anything unusual like that. As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are coming in and out each day, it is quite normal for people to be walking around.
I see. But if that's the case, then we're back to square one regarding...
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now. First, whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights in the books from the very beginning. Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse, and might even have a key. And third... I knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time. It must have been a team effort. It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama, the Tenryo Commission will continue by investigating the warehouse staff. If you come across any further clues, please notify us immediately.
Yes, understood. I'll leave it to you then.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Sara's quite the meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry. I can't seem to remember where I may have put it.
How could you lose something so important?
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. But I didn't bring any luggage with me, and the letter was too big to fit in my pocket. So I kept it in my hand the whole trip. Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I know that I kept it in a secure place. I even recall being most pleased at coming up with a good idea at the time.
If you were holding the invitation in your hand the whole time, then why did you put it down?
Well, to properly compare the taste of Mondstadt wine and Inazuman sake, I had to hold a glass in each hand. I couldn't both hold the invitation and a glass at the same time. But surely I wouldn't put it in just any random place. It could easily be misplaced.
In which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out?
You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
Ah, yes! I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission. Now, however, starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be leaving now.
There goes Sara. All right, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference materials.
Mr. Hiroyama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess. These are the materials regarding the 5 Kassen. All the information that we could find is compiled here.